Hello, thank you for checking out Mr. Ware's videos, and today we're looking at how to solve a system of equations from context. And we're going to take a look at a word problem, make two equations, and then solve it and figure out two unknown variables. So let's take a look at the first example. Alright, so it says here the contractor needs to buy nails to build a house. The nails come in small boxes and large boxes. Each small box has 50 nails. Each large box has 400 nails. And the contractor bought 3 times as many large boxes as small boxes, which altogether had 2,500 nails. Determine the number of small boxes purchased and the number of large boxes purchased. So this is what you want to do. You want to make two equations, and we got two variables. We've got S for the small boxes, and we got L for the large boxes. Okay, so we're going to make the first equation, and that's going to come from this sentence here. Actually, two sentences together, but each small box has 50 nails, and each large box has 400 nails, and then the total altogether they had 2,500 nails. Okay, so to make that equation, we're going to multiply the number of small boxes times 50, the number of large boxes times 400, add it together and set it equal to 25. Okay, so we have 50 times S plus 400 times L. Okay, and together that equals 2,500. We don't know how many small boxes or how many large boxes, but we know there's 50 in every small, 400 in every large as far as the nails, and together they equal 2,500. That's one equation. Now we got to go ahead and make another equation. So in this next sentence here, it says the contractor bought 3 times as many large boxes as small boxes. Okay, so you've got you can set the small boxes equal to the large boxes. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm gonna write. I'm gonna say the small boxes is equal to the large boxes. But the thing is, one is more than the other. So there's more large boxes than small boxes. So you got to multiply the small boxes by 3 in order to equal, like 3 small boxes will equal 1 large. Okay, so now we have two equations. And now what we got to do from there is just go ahead and solve it. So we know what L is going to equal. L is going to equal 3S. So I'm going to plug in this 3S in this first equation. So I'm going to say 50S plus 400L is equal to 2,500. So I'm plugging in this in here. Alright, and then I'll work it from there. So I have I'm going to bring down this 50S plus 400 times 3, which is 1,200S, is equal to 25. Add that together and you get 1,250S is equal to 2,500. And then divide. Alright, and once we do that, the S is equal to 2. So we know that we had 2 small boxes. But now what we got to do is figure out how many large boxes we got. So we're going to take the small boxes and plug it in for S. So you'll have 3. Matter of fact, I'm going to change colors here. 3 times S is equal to L. And we're going to plug in this 2 in here. And then 3 times 2 is 6. So that means there's 6 large boxes. And that's it. So that's one example of using systems of equations to solve using system of equations to solve word problems here. All right, let's take a look at another example. All right, so a jeweler had a fixed amount of gold to make bracelets and necklaces. The amount of gold in each bracelet is 7 grams, and the amount of gold in each necklace is 20 grams. The jeweler used 109 grams of gold and made 4 more bracelets than necklaces. Okay, so let's take a look at that. First, we're going to start off with the variables. So we're going to have B, change colors here. B is equal to bracelets. That's simple enough. And we're going to have N equal to necklaces. Alright, and we got to make 2 equations, okay? So the first equation here is that we see that each bracelet has 7 grams of gold and each necklace has 20 grams of gold. And then the total is 109 grams of gold. Okay, so I can multiply the bracelet times 7 bracelets plus 20 necklaces. 20 times however many necklaces, right? It's equal to 109 as far as the number of grams of gold. Alright, so that's one equation. Now we're going to do another equation here. And it says here there are 4 more bracelets than necklaces. Okay, so again, we're going to have bracelets and we'll have necklaces. Okay, they're equal if you change one. Okay, and since you have more bracelets than necklaces, and you know it's by 4, you're going to add 4 to the necklaces. Okay, so now we have a the bracelets equal N plus 4, and we could plug that in and solve the equation. So we have 7B plus 20N is equal to 109. And we're going to plug that N plus 4 in here. Alright, so then we just solve it from there. We go ahead and do the distributive property. 7 times N is 7N. 7 times 4 is 28. Plus 20N is equal to 109. And then we combine like terms here. You get 20N plus 28 is equal to 109. Then subtract 28 on both sides. You get 20N is equal to 81. Nope, this should be 27N. Divide by 27. And N is equal to 3. So we know how many necklaces there are. All we got to do is plug that in now. So we have B is equal to the necklace, which is 3, plus 4. So we plug in this in here. And B is equal to 7. Alright. So that's how that's done. That's how you solve some system of equations in context in a word problem. Let me give you one that involves money, because a lot of times people say, well, I just need to know how to deal with money. Well, here's a money one. See if you can do system of equations with money on this one. Okay? So Jaden has 56 cents worth of pennies and nickels. He has a total of 20 pennies and nickels all together. Determine the number of pennies and nickels. Determine the number of pennies and the number of nickels that Jaden has. So, we're going to have the P represent pennies. And we're going to have N represent nickels. And sometimes when you're dealing with these problems, they don't give you all the numbers. And this is an example here. You're looking here, you got 56, and you got 20, and that's the only nickel numbers that you have. Where are the other numbers? Well, some of the numbers you just need to already know. Like the fact that a penny is worth 1 cent and a nickel is worth 5. And we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. Now, this is going to be a little longer, but we're going to do the same thing we've been doing and set up two equations. Okay? So first, let's work with the total here. So the total is 56 cents. Okay? So if we add up all the nickels and we add up all the pennies and we multiply every nickel by 0.5 and multiply every penny by 0.01, it's going to equal 56 cents. It might be helpful to put that 0 in front of that. So that's one equation. Okay. The second equation is determine the number of pennies and number of nickels Jaden has. So we know the total amount of pennies is 20. And so if we just add up all the nickels and add up all the pennies, the total amount of actual coins will be 20. Okay, so this time we've got two standard form equations instead of having one that's already solved. But that's okay. It won't be hard. We'll just go ahead and solve one. So I'm going to solve the second one real easy. We'll just subtract P on both sides. And that's going to leave us with N is equal to 20 minus P. So now we're working with two equations. We're working with this one and this one. Okay, so N is equal to 20 minus P, and I'm going to plug that in into this equation. So I'm going to write it over here. I got 0.05, change back, 0.05 N plus 0.01 times 20 minus P. And what I did is I took the N, which is equal to 20 minus P, and let me back up. Let's see. This doesn't go there. Let's fix that. We're going to plug that here. 20 minus P. Alright, and plus 0.01 P is equal to 0.56. Alright, now we're going to distribute and then solve. Alright, so this 0.05 times 20, it's going to get us 1. Minus 0.05 times P, which would be 0.05P, plus 0.01P is equal to 0.56. Alright, so now we're going to combine our like terms here, and here. And different signs, find the difference. 0.05 minus 0.01 is 0.04. Now I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides. 0.04P is equal to 0.44 negative. And then divide by 0.04. And P is equal to 9. Okay. I'm sorry, not 9, 11. Now, we're going to take that 11. That means we got 11 pennies, and we're going to plug it in to this equation up here. And I'm going to plug it into this original one right here. And I'll have N plus the P, which is now 11, is equal to 20. Subtract 11 on both sides, and N is equal to 9. So you got 9 nickels and 11 pennies. And that's one of the harder ones right there when you're dealing with money and whatnot. One way you can go about it to make it simpler is to, right here at this very beginning here, change this to like 5, 1, and 56 by multiplying by 100, and you would still get 11 here. So sometimes the decimals make it a little bit more confusing. But that's pretty much it. And again, I want to thank you for checking out Mr. Ware's videos. Have a nice day.